Hey everyone, welcome back to Switch Top. Today, we're diving into the amazing world of Metroidvania games on Nintendo Switch. These are games where you explore big connected worlds, gain new powers, and unlock new areas as you get stronger. The Switch has some incredible gems in this genre, so let's count down the top 30. Carrion flips the script by letting you play as the monster instead of the hero. You're this gross, tentacled creature that escapes from a research facility and must find your way out while growing stronger. The story unfolds through environmental storytelling as you discover what happened to you and why you're trapped. What makes Carrion special is how you move. You don't walk or run, you slither and crawl through vents, grab onto walls, and squeeze through tight spaces. As you eat scientists and guards, you literally grow bigger and gain new abilities like breaking through walls or throwing objects. The game has no map, which sounds scary but actually works perfectly because you're playing as this instinctual creature. Combat feels amazing as you grab enemies with your tentacles and fling them around. Blade Chimera takes the classic Metroidvania formula and adds some serious style to it. You play as Shin, a half-demon warrior who's hunting down demons in a gothic world that's been overrun by these creatures. The story is pretty straightforward. Demons have invaded, and you're one of the few who can stop them, but the game's atmosphere and characters make it feel fresh. What sets this game apart is its combat system. You have a sword for close combat and guns for ranged attacks, and switching between them feels smooth and natural. The upgrade system lets you customize your weapons and abilities, so you can play however you want. Movement is tight and responsive, with wall jumping and dashing that feels great once you get the hang of it. The pixel art is gorgeous, especially the boss designs, and the soundtrack rocks. Salt and Sanctuary is basically Dark Souls meets Metroidvania, and it works incredibly well. You're a shipwrecked sailor on a mysterious island filled with horrifying creatures and ancient secrets. The story is told through the environment and item descriptions, slowly revealing the tragic history of this cursed place. The game is tough, really tough, but fair. You collect salt instead of souls from defeated enemies to level up your character, but if you die, you drop it all and have to get it back. The skill tree is huge, letting you build your character however you want. Magic user, heavy knight, or quick rogue. Combat requires timing and patience, and every enemy can kill you if you're not careful. What makes it Metroidvania is how new abilities let you reach new areas. Plus, there are tons of secrets hidden everywhere.
So far, it does feel a little bit hack and slashy.
Blaster Master Zero modernizes the classic NES game in the best possible way. You play as Jason, a young man who follows his pet frog down a hole and discovers an underground world full of mutants. He finds a tank called Sophia the Third and teams up with an alien girl named Eve to save both Earth and her planet from the mutant threat. The game perfectly balances vehicle and on-foot sections. You'll drive the tank through large areas, then hop out to explore smaller spaces and fight bosses. The tank controls feel great, with different weapons and abilities you unlock as you progress. The on-foot sections have their own upgrade system and weapons. What's really cool is how each area feels different, with unique enemies and environmental challenges. The pixel art is colorful and detailed, and the music is fantastic. SteamWorld Dig is all about digging deeper and deeper into the earth to uncover the mysteries below. You play as Rusty, a steam-powered robot who inherits his uncle's mine in a small desert town. What starts as a simple mining operation turns into an adventure to save the town from an ancient threat sleeping deep underground. The core gameplay loop is addictive. You dig down, collect resources, upgrade your tools, then dig even deeper. Your pickaxe, drill, and other tools get better as you progress, letting you break through tougher materials materials and reach new areas. The digging mechanics feel great, and there's something really satisfying about carving your own path through the earth. You'll find power-ups that give you new abilities, like steam jumping or punching through blocks. Laika, Age Through Blood, does something completely different by combining Metroidvania exploration with motorcycle combat. You play as Laika, a coyote mother trying to protect her tribe from bird oppressors in a post-apocalyptic desert world. The story tackles heavy themes about family, sacrifice, and survival, but does it with respect and emotional depth. What makes this game unique is that you're always on your motorcycle. You can't get off it. All your movement, jumping, and combat happens while riding. You reload your gun by doing backflips, which sounds weird but becomes second nature quickly. The physics-based movement creates amazing moments where you're flying through the air, shooting enemies while doing tricks. The world is beautifully hand-drawn with a Western aesthetic that feels both familiar and fresh. Iconoclasts is a labor of love that took one developer nearly a decade to create, and it shows in every pixel. You play as Robin, a young mechanic living in a religious society where technology is forbidden, but she secretly fixes things for people who need help. When the authorities discover her illegal activities, she gets caught up in a larger conspiracy involving her missing father and the truth about their world's energy source. The story deals with heavy themes like religious oppression and environmental destruction, but balances them with moments of humor and hope. The gameplay combines puzzle solving with action platforming perfectly. Robin's wrench isn't just a weapon, it's a tool that interacts with the environment in creative ways. Each area introduces new mechanics and challenges that keep the gameplay fresh. Axiom Verge 2 is a worthy sequel that takes the series in a bold new direction while keeping what made the first game special. You play as Indra, a billionaire's daughter searching for her missing father in Antarctica, but you soon discover connections to the strange alien world from the first game. The story explores themes of corporate greed, family relationships, and the consequences of advanced technology. What sets this sequel apart is the breach system. You can shift between the normal world and a corrupted version of it, with each having different layouts and obstacles. The hacking tool lets you glitch enemies and environment elements, changing how they behave in creative ways. Remote drones add a new dimension to exploration, letting you reach areas your main character can't access. La-Mulana 2 is for hardcore puzzle platformer fans who want their brains melted by complex riddles and challenging gameplay. You play as Lumisa, daughter of the previous game's hero, exploring ancient ruins to stop a new threat to humanity. The story connects to the first game, but stands on its own, diving deep into ancient mythologies and archaeological mysteries. This game doesn't hold your hand at all. Clues are scattered everywhere, often in different areas than where you need to use them. You'll need to take notes, think carefully about cryptic hints, and sometimes just experiment to figure out what to do next. The platforming is pixel-perfect precise, and enemies can be brutal if you're not careful. What makes it worth the effort is the incredible sense of accomplishment when you solve a puzzle that's been stumping you for hours. Path of the Teal. Lotus is a masterpiece that combines Japanese folklore with smooth hand-drawn animation to create something truly special. You play as Bo, a fox who becomes a celestial being and must restore balance to a world where yokai, Japanese spirits, are causing chaos. The story is deeply rooted in Japanese culture and mythology, treating these ancient tales with respect while making them accessible to everyone. What immediately grabs you is the art style. Every frame looks like it was drawn by a master animator, with fluid movements and gorgeous backgrounds that bring Japanese folklore to life. The combat system is simple to learn but deep to master, with different fox abilities that you unlock as you explore. Movement feels amazing, especially when you learn to chain together dashes, wall jumps, and special abilities. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. Shantae loses her genie powers and teams up with her rival Risky Boots to stop an ancient evil called the Pirate Master. Without magic, she uses pirate tools like a sword, pistol, and hat that lets her glide. You explore tropical islands, each with unique themes and secrets. The game mixes platforming with light RPG elements. You buy upgrades and find heart containers to get stronger. Combat is simple but fun, letting you chain attacks and use different tools for various situations. The pixel art is gorgeous and the music is catchy. What makes this special is how losing powers actually opens up new gameplay. The pirate gear creates different movement options than her usual transformations. It's colorful, charming, and perfect for anyone wanting a lighter Metroidvania experience with great humor and personality. Lilies, Quietus of the Nights. You play as a young priestess who wakes up in a world corrupted by rain that turns people into monsters called the Blighted. The story unfolds through environmental storytelling and memory fragments as you discover what happened to this kingdom. Instead of weapons, you purify corrupted knights and creatures, who then fight alongside you as spirits. Each purified enemy gives you new abilities. Some attack for you, others help you move in new ways. The combat is unique because you don't directly attack. You position yourself and let your spirit allies do the fighting. You'll explore a beautiful but haunting world, unlocking new areas as you gain movement abilities like double jumps and dashes. The hand-drawn art is stunning, and the piano soundtrack is absolutely beautiful. Momodora, Moonlit Farewell. This prequel follows Momo, a priestess trying to save her village from a terrible curse. The story is told through gorgeous pixel art cutscenes and environmental details that build a dark fairy tale atmosphere. You use a magic leaf as your main weapon, which can be swung in combos or thrown as a projectile. The combat system includes a dodge roll with invincibility frames, letting you roll through enemy attacks if you time it right. As you explore the interconnected world, you'll find items that boost your health, magic, and unlock new abilities like wall climbing and air dashing. Boss fights are challenging but fair, requiring you to learn patterns and use your full moveset. The game has multiple difficulty options, making it accessible to different skill levels. Blasphemous. You are the penitent one, a silent warrior seeking redemption in the cursed land of Custodia. The world is trapped in an endless cycle of guilt and punishment, and you must uncover the truth behind this religious nightmare. Combat revolves around your sword, mea culpa, and prayer-based magic attacks. You can upgrade your sword with rosary beads and relics that change your abilities. The world is full of dark religious imagery and incredible pixel art that brings this gothic nightmare to life. Platforming can be challenging, with deadly spikes and precise jumps required. You'll meet strange NPCs who give you quests and lore about this twisted world. The game rewards exploration with hidden areas, lore items, and powerful upgrades. Boss fights are intense and require learning attack patterns. The soundtrack perfectly matches the dark atmosphere with haunting Spanish guitar. Ender Magnolia, bloom in the mist. As an artificial, you awaken in a world where humans have vanished and nature is reclaiming everything. Your mission is to purify the feral, corrupted machines that have lost their purpose. Like Ender Lilies, you don't attack directly, but use purified enemies as spiritual allies who fight for you. Each purified feral grants unique abilities, from offensive attacks to movement options like teleporting and floating. The world design is breathtaking, showing a beautiful post-apocalyptic landscape where machines and nature coexist. You'll explore various biomes, each with distinct visual themes and enemy types. The story unfolds through memory fragments and environmental storytelling, revealing the fate of humanity and your role in this world. Combat requires positioning and timing as your spirit allies automatically attack based on your commands. Blaster Master 03. Jason travels across different planets to save Eve, who's been infected by mutant cells. The story spans multiple dimensions as you pilot the tank Sophia 3 through various alien worlds. The game combines side-scrolling tank combat with top-down dungeon exploration when you exit the vehicle. Each planet has unique mechanics. Some have low gravity, others have environmental hazards that change gameplay. You collect power-ups and upgrades for both Jason and the tank, improving weapons, health, and abilities. The top-down sections feature more traditional shooting with multiple weapon types. Boss battles often switch between tank and on-foot combat, keeping things fresh. The game includes multiple pilots with different abilities, adding variety to gameplay. Pixel art is crisp and colorful, with smooth animations and great special effects. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom. Jin is cursed and can transform into different animals, each with unique abilities needed to explore the world. The hand-drawn animation is absolutely stunning. Every frame looks like it came from a Disney movie. You'll transform into a pig to fit through small spaces, a frog to swim and use your tongue, a snake to slither through tiny passages, a lion for combat, and a dragon to fly. Each form has different movement options and can reach different areas, making exploration incredibly varied. The puzzle design is brilliant, often requiring you to switch between forms quickly to overcome obstacles. Combat varies by form. The pig headbutts, the lion uses weapons, and each form feels completely different to play. You collect equipment that changes your stats and abilities, with some gear only usable by certain forms. Blasphemous 2. The Penitent One returns to break a new curse plaguing Custodia in this incredible sequel. The combat system has been completely overhauled with 3 different weapons, each with unique movesets, combos, and upgrade paths. You can switch between weapons at any time, and each one opens different movement options and combat strategies. The world is even more interconnected than before, with multiple paths between areas and secrets hidden everywhere. New traversal abilities like wall climbing and air dashing make exploration smoother and more satisfying. The pixel art has been upgraded with more detailed animations and environmental effects. Religious imagery remains central, but feels more refined and meaningful to the story. Boss fights are incredibly well designed, each requiring different strategies and weapon combinations. Yoku's Island Express. This game combines Metroidvania exploration with pinball mechanics in the most creative way possible. You play as Yoku, a dung beetle who becomes the island's new postmaster and must save it from an ancient evil. Instead of jumping, you roll around as a pinball, using flippers placed throughout the environment to launch yourself to new areas. The island is filled with pinball tables integrated into the landscape. It sounds weird, but works perfectly. You collect fruit to unlock new areas and upgrade your abilities. The story is lighthearted and charming, with colorful characters and beautiful hand-drawn art. Each area has different pinball challenges and environmental puzzles that require precise flipper timing. Boss fights are essentially complex pinball sequences that are incredibly satisfying to master. Axiom Verge. After a lab accident, scientist Trace awakens in an alien world and must uncover the truth about this strange dimension. The story deals with themes of identity, reality, and what it means to be human as you discover your connection to this world. You start with a basic blaster, but find dozens of unique weapons throughout your journey, each with different firing patterns and effects. The standout mechanic is the Address Disruptor, a tool that can glitch enemies and the environment, turning foes into allies or revealing hidden paths. This glitch mechanic is brilliant and makes exploration feel fresh and unpredictable. The pixel art perfectly captures that classic sci-fi horror atmosphere with detailed alien landscapes and creatures. You'll find health and weapon upgrades hidden throughout the massive interconnected world. The Messenger. You play as a ninja tasked with delivering a scroll to save your village from demons. What starts as a linear action game suddenly transforms into a full Metroidvania when you unlock time travel powers. You can switch between 8-bit and 16-bit eras of the same world, with each timeline having different layouts and obstacles. Combat uses your sword and throwing stars, with a unique mechanic where hitting enemies resets your air dash, letting you chain attacks to stay airborne. The time shifting creates amazing puzzles where you change something in the past to affect the future. The writing is hilarious with great fourth wall breaking humor. Music dynamically switches between chiptune and modern versions as you time travel. It perfectly captures classic ninja games while adding modern design. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. Sargon, a member of the Immortals warrior group, enters the cursed Mount Kaf to rescue the kidnapped prince. The mountain exists outside normal time, causing past, present, and future to blend together in confusing ways. Combat combines fast swordplay with time-based powers like slowing enemies or rewinding your position after taking damage. You gain new traversal abilities like wall running, air dashing, and time echoes that create platforms. The world is beautifully hand-drawn with Persian-inspired art and mythology. Each area has unique environmental challenges that require mastering your growing moveset. Boss fights are intense and require learning attack patterns while using your time powers strategically. The story explores themes of loyalty and betrayal as Sargon uncovers dark secrets. Photo mode lets you mark puzzle solutions, which is incredibly helpful for backtracking. Metroid Dread. Samus receives a transmission that the X-Parasites still exist on planet ZDR and investigates, only to be attacked by a mysterious Chozo and lose her powers. She's now hunted by nearly indestructible EMMI robots in terrifying chase sequences where you can only run and hide. The fear factor adds incredible tension as these robots patrol specific zones. Combat feels amazing with fluid movement, slide attacks, and the satisfying counter system that rewards perfect timing. You gradually regain classic abilities like the Morph Ball, Space Jump, and various beam weapons. The world design is masterful with interconnected areas that encourage exploration. Environmental storytelling reveals the dark history of the Chozo race. Boss fights are challenging but fair, requiring quick reflexes and pattern recognition. animal? Well, you're a small blob exploring a mysterious underground world filled with strange creatures and ancient machinery. There's no combat, instead you solve environmental puzzles using items like the frisbee, yo-yo, and bubble wand in creative ways. The pixel art is incredibly detailed with amazing lighting effects and smooth animations. Each screen is handcrafted like a puzzle box with secrets hidden everywhere. You collect eggs and other collectibles that unlock new areas and abilities. The sound design is fantastic with atmospheric audio that makes the world feel alive and mysterious. Animals react to your presence in realistic ways. Some flee, others are curious, and understanding their behavior is key to progression. The game has incredible depth with multiple layers of secrets for dedicated players to discover. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Ori embarks on a journey beyond Nebel Forest to discover their true destiny and help their owl friend Ku learn to fly. The story deals with themes of growing up, family, and finding your place in the world. Movement is absolutely beautiful with smooth jumping, gliding, and wall running that feels like dancing through the environment. Combat has been completely redesigned with various weapons and abilities you can equip and upgrade. You gain new movement skills like grappling, water dashing, and burrowing through sand. The world is gorgeous with hand-painted backgrounds and incredible lighting effects. Each biome has unique mechanics like underwater sections and desert areas with sandstorms. Boss fights are epic and emotional with amazing music. The difficulty can be adjusted to match your skill level. Teslagrad Remastered. You play as a young boy who must escape the king's guards and discovers an abandoned tower filled with electromagnetic puzzles. The game tells its story entirely without words through environmental details and beautiful animations. All gameplay revolves around magnetism. You can magnetize objects with positive or negative charges to attract or repel them. Platforming requires understanding magnetic forces to launch yourself across gaps or move platforms. You gradually gain new electromagnetic powers like teleporting through electrical currents and creating magnetic fields. The hand-drawn art style is stunning with steampunk-inspired designs and incredible attention to detail. Puzzles start simple but become incredibly clever, requiring you to think about magnetic interactions in creative ways. Boss fights use the same magnetic mechanics in exciting ways. Ori must restore the Forest of Nibel by finding 3 essential elements after the Spirit Tree's light is stolen. The story is emotional and beautifully told through gorgeous cutscenes and environmental storytelling. Movement is the star here. Ori feels incredibly fluid to control with precise jumping and the unique bash ability that lets you launch off enemy projectiles and attacks. You gain new traversal abilities like wall jumping, charge flames, and the amazing bash that completely changes how you navigate. The world is breathtaking beautiful with hand-painted art that looks like a living fairy tale. Escape sequences are intense platforming challenges where you must quickly use all your abilities while the environment collapses around you. The difficulty can be quite challenging, but checkpoints can be placed anywhere you want. SteamWorld Dig 2. Robot Dorothy searches for her missing friend Rusty in underground caverns while uncovering the truth about their dying world. The story has great humor and character development as Dorothy meets various robot inhabitants. The core loop involves digging down through destructible terrain to find gems and upgrade materials. You use your pickaxe, drill, and eventually more advanced tools to carve your own paths through the underground. Combat mixes digging with fighting underground creatures using various weapons and gadgets. Each area has different materials and challenges. Some have water that fills the spaces you dig, others have dangerous gas or lava. You constantly upgrade your equipment, health, and abilities using gems you collect. dead cells. You're an immortal prisoner escaping from an ever-changing prison island, dying and returning stronger each time. This roguelike Metroidvania resets the world layout with each death, but permanent progression keeps you moving forward. Combat is incredibly tight and responsive with dozens of weapons that completely change your playstyle. From quick daggers to massive hammers to magical spells. The mutation system lets you build your character differently each run, focusing on brutality, tactics, or survival depending on what weapons you find. Each area has multiple paths and secrets, encouraging exploration even though the layout changes. Boss fights are intense pattern-based encounters that require learning and adapting to their movesets. The pixel art animation is some of the best ever created, with incredibly fluid character movement and brutal combat animations. Hollow Knight. You play as a mysterious knight exploring the ruined kingdom of Hallownest, uncovering its tragic history as you delve deeper underground. The story is told through environmental details, cryptic NPC dialogue, and optional lore that rewards careful exploration. Combat starts simple with your nail, sword, but evolves as you learn spells and upgrade your abilities. The charm system is brilliant. You can equip different combinations of 40+ charms to completely change your playstyle and abilities. Movement begins basic but becomes incredibly complex as you unlock abilities like wall jumping, dashing, and multiple jumps. The hand-drawn art style creates a hauntingly beautiful world that feels both alien and familiar. Boss fights are challenging but fair, each requiring different strategies and rewarding mastery of the combat system. There you have it, the top 30 Metroidvania games on Nintendo Switch. From emotional platformers to challenging roguelikes, these games represent the absolute best this genre has to offer on Nintendo's amazing console. What's your favorite Metroidvania game? Let me know in the comments. I love hearing about your experiences with these incredible games. Smash that like button and subscribe to Switch Top for more Nintendo Switch content. Until next time.